Shiba Inu is waking up. And no, we're not talking about the dog. We're not talking about us as humans. We're not talking about anything like that, babies. We're talking about the whales. The Shib whales are waking up, and this is kind of what's going on. We talk about buying opportunities in crypto and when you should be buying, when you should be selling. That is the $1,000,000 question that we ask ourselves every single day as a crypto trader. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down kind of 8.7 trillion Shiba Inu and why that's important and relevant right now, because the whales are waking up within Shib. So I want to share with you guys this message, especially on a day where we do have Shib being one of the bright spots in the market with all the controversy going on in the Middle East and all the gains that we had last week just being washed away. The market is now fearful. As we look into the fear and greed index, you can see that firmly sitting right here at 39, and that's something where it could change on the drop of a dime. So I do want to share with you guys my thoughts. As always, guys, please remember, not financial advice, always your own research and due diligence, and be sure to subscribe here on the channel. Smash that like button, and if you want to, give me a follow on X. Gladly appreciate that at TCryptoMark. You can find my handle in the bottom left of your screen. But let's dive into the crypto bubbles, and I'll share with you exactly what's going on. Always remember, these are just my thoughts and expressions with my crypto trading. Make sure you do your own research and due diligence, as this is not financial advice. Now, here's Shib as we currently look at it right now. We are trading at that 401646 mark, and we did just turn into the red ever so quickly, because before I started recording this, we were actually up 0.25%. But it's important to understand and kind of not lose the perspective that, yes, Shib is outside of the top 12, now 13th. Yes, Shib is at a $9.7 billion market cap, below a $10 billion market cap. But we need to hold on to the fact that Shib is up 6% on the week, 24.6% on the month. And if you look at the yearly chart, I know it's not that 403539, but we are still up 125% on the last 365 days. Now, that's very important, because a lot of crypto traders out there can say that they're not in the money when it comes to their crypto assets. Shiba Inu holders can, okay? So that's a big discrepancy. That's something I wanted to share with you guys, and I do want to get into this conversation because the whales are waking up as we look at 8.7 trillion Shib that has just basically surged, okay? Now, why is this relevant? Well, in this time period where we're having all this controversy over in the Middle East, you know, we had the China stimulus, and everybody was thinking, okay, this is it. This is the catalyst that's going to parlay itself into 2024 with the presidential election, the softening of interest rates, as well as what's coming with the new presidential regime. Good, bad, or indifferent, people were very bullish if we were going to get Donald Trump elected to president. We'll see what happens. We just had the vice presidential debate, and now the next step is actually getting to the polls and voting. And worldwide, all eyes will be on this, because this will be something where, for a lot of issues, not just cryptocurrency and finance, we are very polarized, okay? It seems to be a battle of the left, battle of the right, and in the middle and in the balance are a few key issues, and cryptocurrency, digital assets, they are definitely one of those issues that weigh in the balance, okay? So that's kind of where I'm at. We want to talk about the data from Into the Block. We've seen the whale activity significantly increase, and this is where we saw a significant rise in sharp, high volume transactions. Now, what I mean by that is where we had 383 significant transactions on the blockchain in the last 24 hours. That's a 7-day high. So we saw an astounding 8.27 trillion Shiba Inu tokens moved. This increase is significantly important because it is due to whale activity, and that is something that usually does precede significant market moves. Now, this is kind of what we talk about. We talk about, you know, strategies within crypto, and obviously it's not financial advice, but you should always have a plan. Now, one thing I'll tell you is, and I do have some history with this because of what went on with Russia and Ukraine, I can tell you one thing. When the markets are down, we just had Bitcoin pressing all-time highs. And now all of a sudden we get, a couple missiles are flying around, the threat of World War III. You know, and it's an unfortunate instance because people are dying, and lives lost and bloodshed is never a good thing. And I don't care really, outside of some, eye for an eye justice and things like that, there is no place for, unwarranted deaths in humanity. Okay. And that's just something that I feel strongly about. And it's different when it's a militaristic kind of approach, but civilian casualties and lives lost is just something that is not called for no matter what the reason is. Right. But that's something where we look into this. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you are on. I think we all can agree that, it's very important to, kind of hold true to those standards of life and just simple humanity. It's just pretty much it just adds up to that. All right. But back into crypto, what I want to share with you, and the reason why I did want to talk a little bit down that road is because I didn't want to come off insensitive saying that, this wartime that we're going on in the Middle East is giving us a crypto buying opportunity, because that makes myself feel insensitive. However, it does actually play a role, and it is kind of true to its name. That's what we're going to see. That's what we saw with Russia. That's what we saw with Ukraine, that conflict. I remember personally, my crypto was down 50%. I made the untimely error of selling a lot of those cryptos and panicking because we were on the forefront of World War III. I did this in the middle of the night. Next thing you know, I wake up and within less than 48 hours, if I wouldn't have sold, I would have actually been up net 30% due to those high price fluctuations. So it's something where you kind of have to understand how this works. And I can tell you one thing, these whales that are swimming and buying up Shiba Inu, they know exactly what they're doing. They're not new to the game. And this is something where it does provide a very unique buying opportunity at these levels. So when the market's fearful, that's when you should be buying, because when the market's not fearful and it's greedy, it's because everybody already bought. So unless we're going to hit that huge green candle like we did back in 2021, and that wave is just going to continue aimlessly, then that's a different situation. But usually, more times than not, when you're worried about buying, when you shouldn't be buying, that's when you should be buying, because that's when we see the whales doing what they do, and that's why they're whales. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Obviously not financial advice, but they are building up positions for a big move. As we look at kind of the numbers from into the block, and you can kind of see this graphic trending upwards, right? It's not like we had back in 2021 where you can see this in the first third of this graphic on a linear perspective. But as we get towards the end, right, we had a big uptick. This was kind of in the springtime of 2024. That's when SHIB was at that 403 plus territory. Now, as we start to see this price increase, we all know that SHIB had a huge run on the charts. You can see at the end of the graph, SHIB had a huge run, and we started this leg up where we're going to see a ton of whale activity in volume. All right. But this is something where all of a sudden we got derailed by what's going over on it with Iran and Israel, and all of that stimulus that we got from the China markets just kind of got washed off the board. Okay. But this is kind of where it does present with a unique opportunity, because a lot of people did miss that. A lot of people were just watching SHIB. They weren't buying SHIB, and we had 25% gains in an individual day. So that's what's important to not lose sight of, is it does now provide us with an extreme discount to those price levels that we just had last week. Okay. Now, profit taking is one thing, but selling out of fear and panic, that's a whole different story. But at the time of recording, we see these price corrections that are happening. They're very sharp. They're very abrupt. And usually that's kind of where we do get a very quick reversal if there's no technical factors that are causing these price decreases. This is a geopolitical conflict. Okay. That's kind of what it is. When it resolves, when it subsides, they've been fighting these wars for 200 years. We haven't had crypto for 200 years, but it's something where centuries are going to pass, and they're still going to be fighting these wars. Okay. But the important thing for us as crypto traders is to take advantage of these opportunities. And this is kind of where we're seeing at the time of me making this video to you guys and talking about SHIB, we are seeing the whales making the most of these opportunities. So that's kind of my message. Not financial advice, obviously. It's very important to understand that there is risk with all of crypto. It's very volatile, and especially when the cryptocurrency market is a little bit towards the fearful side, under 40, we are approaching kind of extreme fear. It's not necessarily something where we have to kind of run and sell per se, but it's very important to understand that the whales are buying, and they're buying for a reason. And that's kind of my take-home message for you in this piece. Hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe on your way out. Stay safe out there. Have fun trading, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.